अपने बारे में अतुल जी के बेनिफिट, क्योंकि अभी टाइम है थोड़ा।
हाँ, एब्सोल्युटली। Am I audible?
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
sir, you're audible. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Namaskar, Mishra Sahab. Namaskar, Ram Narayan ji and Atul ji.
Namaskar, sir.
First of all, I missed Mishra ji lecture last week. I tried, but somehow there was some confusion in the connection. But I heard all languages. I have seen all of you and Atul ji also on the recorded lecture. I have listened to the entire lecture.
My pleasure, sir.
It is my privilege कि मिश्रा जी ने मेरे को इंट्रोड्यूस किया. We have been ये बहुत ही सौभाग्य की बात है. And अमर मिश्रा जी करीबन हमारा 10 साल से संबंध है. When I was in NTPC, Tapovan, I was heading hydro projects in the state of Uttarakhand near Joshimath.
Okay.
And our association started with visit to the Lord Badrinath Shrine.
All
So
right.
it is going I worked in NTPC for about 33 years plus, and superannuated in December 2016 as executive director. And I worked in thermal, hydro, and last stint of assignment was in solar. And then after my superannuation, I joined a couple of private companies. I'm still working as CEO in Avenger Place Solar Private Limited. So we had as a NTPC, we had, I have already commissioned more than 600 megawatt of solar projects.
Wow, that's really good.
In the state of Rajasthan, and still we have a running project which is in O&M stage.
So मिश्रा जी, मेरा आपसे अनुरोध है कि
but then
आप
all your people
अजय
are
जी को
there.
definitely invite करिएगा. So
Sure,
let us
sure,
invite him
sure.
for one of the sessions.
Yeah.
So I'll not become a bottleneck now. I think I leave the floor. This is a brief introduction.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Satya ji.
So let me start with a very short brief. Okay, so welcome everybody to CEO Talks. CEO Talks stand for Collaboration, Excellence, and Opportunities. We started this during the COVID times. The intent was very simple, that we allow or create an environment for entrepreneurs to be in touch and to look at ways to grow together. Today is the 134th talk, and Satya ji just joined in, and he's written a message saying Jai Shri Ram. So today also is a landmark day that Ayodhya Shilanyas has happened. All right. So I think that itself is a great thing, and इससे बढ़िया क्या हो सकता है कि अयोध्या में शिलान्यास हुआ है और राम जी खुद हमारे यहाँ पधारे हैं. Mishra ji, all yours. So Mishra ji, he is our host for a segment which is called Sarkarnama. This is one. So Mishra ji, all yours. Please, आप सरकारनामा के बारे में बताएं और प्रोग्राम चालू करें.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to me to host a great personality, Mr. Ram Narayan ji. Am I audible? Comfortable?
Yes, audible.
Yes, sir.
And one of my colleague and seniors in the Ministry of Communication and IT, having a wide range of experience in all domains of telecommunication verticals and otherwise. We call him a management guru also. Today he is founder president of one very important segment, that is Nectar Foundation, which is in the core of training the entrepreneurs, as well as, of course, only entrepreneurs only, so that they can increase their efficiency. So I would request, before going further, I would request Ram Narayan ji to give a brief introduction of himself. Then we will take forward as the time comes. Ram Narayan ji has got a presentation also. So I would request that the presentation time, I have already requested him that keep the presentation time as short as possible and more discussion with you. However, let us utilize maximum opportunity, whatever we have got it of Ram Narayan ji. Right. So over to you, Ram Narayan ji.
Okay. Thank you, Misra ji. Good afternoon. SN, Atul Puri ji, Priya ji, and all the other participants. So, are you able to hear me? I think
Yeah, very clear.
this somebody has come in between. So, as far as my introduction is concerned, my name is Ram Narayan. I have worked in the Department of Telecommunications since 1981. So I worked around 36 years. I supervised February 2017 as senior DDG, the Department of Telecommunications. So as Misra ji has already stated that I have worked in various capacities in the Department of Telecommunication, in the operations, in maintenance, in vigilance, in administration, in policy, regulations, security, and training, management training, technical training, project management. And I had a stint abroad too for about 5 years in Doha, Qatar, where I was head of management training and career development. Although I was a telecom man, but I worked there as head of management training and career development. There we built up the management faculty right from scratch. So writing from handpads to fully faculty. We got that training center accredited for MBA degree from Institute of Supervision and Management of UK, and for NVQ3, NVQ4, NVQ5 programs. They are the National Vocational Qualification programs in management. In DOT, I set up the security unit in the beginning with one director, first myself alone, then one director, and now the security unit is the biggest unit in DOT. In fact, it got bifurcated in between 2 units. Then again, these 2 units occupy almost 80% of the now DOT posts. So these both the ground unit and security units were created by me, Department of Telecommunication. So we brought the concept of security first time in the country, which was later on lapped by 3GPP also, and they constituted a separate group, SA3 group, where the security standards are being set in the world. So that is briefly about me as far as my working is concerned. And most of the time I have spent in Department of Telecommunication, except these 5 years abroad.
Thank you, Ram Narayan ji. A couple of more friends have come. Madam Alka Asthana. She is also one of our colleagues, and she is now at present heading Bharti Infratel today. And I am pleased to see her. So if she can come in and introduce for a very short introduction.
Good afternoon, sirs, and it's a real privilege and pleasure to be here. And good afternoon, Ram Narayan, sir.
Good afternoon.
Meeting you after a long time.
Meeting after a long time. I used to see in DOT after that.
Yeah. So I've, as sir said, I've now joined Bharti Infratel. I've been here for some time now. I'm CTO for Bharti Infratel, and we provide infrastructure on a shared basis to all the operators. And I look forward to hearing interesting stuff from you. Thank you, Satya sir. Nice to meet you. And बहुत दिनों से there's been no telecom event where we would have met, thanks to Corona. So it's a good forum.
And you are not seen in the morning walk also. I'm not seeing you. Have you moved out of Kelgaon, or you are still there?
No, I moved out long back, sir. After I took, I mean, that locality is purely for government servants. I've lost that privilege a long time back, so I couldn't have continued.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not there anymore. So, but that area is the best for morning walks. That I agree.
Yes.
I won't take too much of your time. I'll wait
Thank you,
for
Alka
Sir
ji.
to start.
Thank you, Alka ji.
Thank you.
There are some more friends. Manoj Singh is there. Manoj Singh, you are there. He is at present a country head for the Orange Telecommunication, which is a French company, and he is also there online. He is also one of our best friend, one of best friend. So Manoj ji, can you come and introduce yourself?
Thank you, sir, and thank you, Gupta ji, and thank you, Ram Narayan ji, because we have seen a lot of time because we are interacted in many different forum with sir. Yes, as you already told, I am working with Orange Business Services as a regulatory head for South Asian countries, and more as a regulatory person, I have interacted with you all in the different forum and the different matters. Thank you, Mr. Ji. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
this opportunity.
Thank you. So without going more further, and many people will like to join, I would request Ram Narayan ji to give his presentation, which he has brought it. I've got plenty of things to talk about Ram Narayan ji, but before that, I wish that should we go ahead with the presentation or we should wait? Atul ji, what is your suggestion? I would request that let us have a presentation, or I wait for some more time.
So let us start with the presentation, sir.
Right, sir. Okay. Ram Narayan sir, please.
See, those who come late, they miss. Simple,
Yeah.
sorted.
Yes.
Right. Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah,
Is this visible?
not
No,
yet.
you have to share.
Not yet.
I share the screen. Is it not? It is not coming.
No, sir.
Select a window, an application.
There's a share screen option. There should be a green button.
Yeah, green button is there. I press this green button. So it says Zoom host attendee. Select a window or an application that you want to share.
So open the presentation, and after that go to share screen.
Okay. First open the presentation.
Open the presentation and go to this presentation mode of the presentation, and then share screen. That show mode basically.
So while Mr. Narayan is figuring it out, Mr. Ji, you can please continue.
Yeah. I have some more friends. Anyway, Sanjay ji is there. Sanjay Badia. He is from Kolkata. Sanjay Badia. He is an.
Yes, sir, I am there.
Oh, Sanjay Badia is an entrepreneur from Kolkata. In all domain of services, he is there. Last week he missed, but this week he has obliged and he has come here. Thank you, Sanjay. But
Sir,
can you say few words?
Sir, it's a very good session. It's going on, sir. It's a good knowledge.
Good.
In this pandemic time, sir.
Great.
Sir.
So now we can see the PPT.
Now we can see the presentation. Thank you very much,
Sir.
Ram.
Sir.
So can I now?
Yeah, kindly
please.
go ahead. Sanjay ji, later we will have more introduction.
Sir. Sir.
Thank you.
Okay, friends, it's a talk. Misra ji has asked me day before yesterday, then can I talk on telecom policy or 5G? Two opposite topics to me. He said, okay, can I talk? I said, Misra ji, कौन सा बात करना है, पॉलिसी पे बात करनी है, 5G टेक्नोलॉजी पे बात करनी है?
सर आप कहीं से शुरू कीजिए, सभी इंटरेस्टिंग होगा लोगों के लिए।
हाँ, तो यही बता रहा हूँ मैं।
हाँ
मैं और शाम को उन्होंने कहा मेरे को बायोडाटा भेज देना, मैंने बायोडाटा भेज दिया। एंड मॉर्निंग में ही सर्व्ड मी बोथ. He said, I will give you both policy also, technology also, and with some more stuff. He said ICT, IoT, 5G, telecom, manufacturing. They say if somebody can speak in 5 minutes, somebody can say his things in 5 minutes, then he's expert. You should be able to say 5 minutes. Brevity is the soul of wit.
Yes.
So I was thinking that I have got 1 hour, I can speak on 5G or telecom policy easily. But he sent me this test paper, ICT, IoT, 5G, telecom, and speak in 20 minutes. So every topic will not get more than 5 minutes. That's all of it. And that is the test. Misra has given me.
Great.
Now, when we talk about the telecom development, like in anything, what we believe is that if we are going from a home and if we go to the office, we must know where we are going. We have to go to office. Otherwise, we will reach to the mall. If we have to go to mall, we will go to the mall. So the current destination and desired destinations should be known. Then only we will go in the right direction. When we are on our way, there will be some driving factors and there will be restraining factors also. सड़क पे जाएंगे ब्लॉकेट मिलेगा, रिस्ट्रेनिंग फैक्टर होगा, सड़क स्मूथ होगी, ड्राइविंग that will be a driving factor. So same kind of thing happens in the telecom or in any other kind of service industry or in the manufacturing industry. There are driving forces, there are restraining forces, and we must know where are we going. In that case, say for example, India's transition, today if we talk about India development, I think we are very low. We may bask in false glory that we are second in numbers. We are only second in number. In population also we are in second in number. That's as simple as that. But if you see the ICT development index of ITU, our ranking is around 130 in a country of around 170. So we are in ICT development still a very backward country. That is to say, Pakistan and Nepal are above us. Pakistan probably 112 ranking and Nepal is 111. We are 131. Similarly, on the global penetration of the broadband, we have only 46 per person, and 3 years before it was 4.7. It is thanks to Jio that mobile broadband penetration in the last 2-3 years, it has taken off very well. But although now on the broad penetration, we are competing to quite some extent, but if you see the speed of the broadband, it is miserably low. So we are 128th rank. So we have to set these targets where we are going. So this slide shows that this kind of target should be there. The medium-term targets, short-term target, medium-term targets, and the long-term targets, and they should gel into one system, and we should proceed in that direction. Then only the ICT development will happen. So for doing this, so I have just tried to figure out what are these pillars or what are the factors which can assist in telecom development. There are 3 things which are very important. One is policy and regulation, because if right policies are not there, nothing will happen. There is a, there is a saying, some of you might have heard it or not. Your skirt should be long enough to cover and short enough to be interesting. But हमारे जो policy makers की है, that skirt either become too long, it becomes boring, or it become too short, that it become vulgar. इसका एग्जाम्पल है कि पहले स्पेक्ट्रम हम देते थे, वी वर गिविंग स्पेक्ट्रम फ्री, 1685 करोड़ रुपीज में पूरा स्पेक्ट्रम दे देते थे, 5 मेगाहर्ट्ज स्पेक्ट्रम. और when that spectrum used to be given, I had calculated its cost used to be around 30 rupees per customer, 30 or 50, 30 to 50 rupees per customer. When this low cost came, what happens is the landline got killed because landline was not able to compete with it. Landline ka jo per line cost tha, it used to come around 30,000 rupees. Now, when the capital cost of mobile became 5,000, including the spectrum, so in that case, it killed the landline, and landline got killed. Then we reversed it completely. Now the spectrum is so costly that if you want to give 2 GB, 2 Mbps speed, then capital cost on one customer will not be less than 40,000 rupees. And therefore, if you really want to give what we call as broadband of 2 Mbps or more, in that case, the ARPU cannot be less than 800 rupees. So what we are getting broadband is very low speed, 128 kbps or some kind of average speed is very low. So that policy, the technological overview must be there with the policymakers. If they don't have the technical overview, they need not be technical experts, but technical overview is must. And for that, minimum 5 years experience is required in telecom for any person who wants to make any telecom policy, not less than that. Similarly, the policymakers must have the international environment in view, what is going around. That also can come only if you are in the field for some sufficient time. Then they must know what are the societal objectives. Similarly, technology, whatever technology we are introducing, we must know what services we want to give, the timing, because if the timing is not proper, many times either the technology timing is too early or sometimes too late, and in that case, the technology will not get, it will not get matured like CDMA failed. Then the pitfalls of the technology. Now, for example, we are talking about 5G. I will come to the safety and security also. In that case also it will come. So the 5G, no one means today we are not considering what is going to happen if there are health concerns are there with the 5G. EMF radiations, the standard today is F by 2000. F by 2000 means whatever is the frequency it is getting transmitted divided by 2000. In fact, as for ICNIP, it should be F by 200, but we increased to 2000. We made it very stringent. With those stringent also, if the frequency is in gigahertz, the permissible level, EMF permissible level will become 13 watt per square meter, which will be 13 times more than what is prescribed now. So you don't know suddenly we are getting heated up or not. But that aspect need to be considered. And then mitigation techniques need to be adopted. And then the security. Security, most of the people think the security is only about the data security or personal data. But the most important thing is national security. The incident of the data security breach, personal security breach are many, but their impact is less. The enterprise security breaches are medium and their effect is also medium. National security breaches are rare. They may not happen in our own lifetime. They may not happen in 20 years, 30 years. But when these will happen, they will be devastating. No one talks about that kind of thing. We remain confined onto the security aspects of up to in the enterprise level, that my data is secure and the enterprise network is secure. So I'm going quickly because Mr. Ji has stated me that I should complete this very quickly. So now coming to the 5G, what is the driving factors? We have talked in the beginning, there are restraining factors for everything and some driving factors. So the driving factors are technology is available, urge to be not left behind, the business case is there, need for new services and availability of resources. Earlier say for example, spectrum is one of the important resources. Earlier enough spectrum was not there for 5G, but now in the higher bands, in 26 gigahertz, 73 gigahertz and all higher bands, enough spectrum is available. Then restraining factors in this is spectrum availability and spectrum cost. Although it is available, but still, say for example, India has not really formalized how much spectrum they would be able to allocate to the operators in case of 5G. Because in 5G it is expected if you want to take advantage of the 5G, at least 100 megahertz spectrum would be required. And they have fixed a price of 500 crore rupees per megahertz. And if 100 crore is required, how much money will be required for an operator? 50,000 crore rupees. Who is having 50,000 crore rupees? Only Jio. No one is having. So the cost of the spectrum can be killing if it is not rationalized. Similarly, backhaul constraint is likely to be there. Backhaul constraint, because our fiberization is very low, and if the municipalities keep creating problems for giving ROWs, and they keep charging 10 lakh, 20 lakh or 50 lakh rupees, as the other day SN was telling, some municipalities are charging 1 crore rupees per kilometer, then it's a death knell for the development of the country. So our policy objectives and ground rules are entirely in conflict. So they must come in sync. So public safety concern, I have already spoken. Security concern also I have spoken. They are the restraints. The 5G services, most of you are technical, you know, M2M, IoT, video streaming, USD learning, mobile gaming, entertainment, augmented reality, self-driving car, industrial automation, smart cities, mission critical applications. So these are the things. Now I'm showing some 3D diagram kind of thing. You know, somebody has asked, what is the difference between IIT? What is the difference between Harvard and MIT, or IIT or IIM? Well, you know what the reply was? Somebody replied, Harvardians, they make diagram two-dimensional, and MIT, they make three-dimensional diagram. So although I have shown these services for the MBA people, so for technical people, I thought this diagram is more suitable. It's 3D kind of thing. So the same, so because if you see the previous diagram, there are 3 blocks. One is enhanced mobile broadband, which we are talking about the broadband, and ultra reliable and latency communication will be required for self-driving cars and other kind of things. And massive machine communication would be required for small devices which communicate once in a while. Say, for example, electricity meters, which will transmit the information only once in a month, kind of thing. So that is why the same diagram, pictorially, it is shown here in a triangle. So the upper part is the enhanced mobile broadband services. Here is the massive machine type of communication. And this is ultra reliable and low latency kind of services. 5G important technological features. So how the 5G is different from the other services or 4G. So network virtualization function is there, massive MIMO, multi-input, multi-output antennas would be there, beam streaming, network splicing, macro, small and micro and spot cells. Because a very small area in MM wave, because coverage will be very low. And if you have to cover streaming, a very high bit data will be required. So very small cell will be required to send the required information. So local cloud servers, software-defined networks will be going to the feature, dynamic allocation of spectrum, separation between user plane and control plane, fixed mobile convergence is would be possible. So indicative comparison, sometimes people just wonder, say, what is the difference? Because this question, many times people ask, what is the difference between 2G, 3G, 4G? So I have just tabulated in indicative table, which differentiate between 3G, 4G, and 5G, that how much is in terms of bandwidth. So you can see, we can see the 5G is 500 times more faster than 3G, and at least 5 times faster than 4G. Latency is very low, average speed, peak bit rate. So it's almost, in most of the cases, if you compare 3G and 4G, it is hundreds of times more efficient than the 3G. And maybe 10 times more efficient than 4G in most of these parameters. Now, having touched 5G, so let me talk about say manufacturing also. So manufacturing is very important, because manufacturing is important in the sense because people talk about security testing and other things. But I have always believed, even when I was in DOT also, that a comprehensive security is not possible unless we start manufacturing in-house equipment. Because however testing you may do, you cannot create test tools to find out the embedded viruses or Trojan, which will get active. Means there are Trojans and kind of things which may not become active for 10 years. And they will become only 10 years, or they need some stimulation, then only they will become active. And stimulation will be done only by the person when he wants to do it. And he will not do it for small commercial disputes kind of things. It will be done only in case of really a war-like situation. And those Trojans and those kind of things, they cannot be detected through testing. And one of the reason for, most important reason for low manufacturing in the country because it has been estimated there is a disability factor of 26% in the telecom networking equipment. And 26% is a huge figure. So that is why it is not possible to manufacture in India. In fact, when I was driving this agenda, once I went to Bangalore and I was taken to some Wipro factory and other kind of things. I was taken to the first floor, then second floor, and on the ground floor, they had some garage kind of things. And I asked them, you are making all kind of the software and you are exporting it to the other countries. They were doing it, all their activities were outsourced and they were doing it for OEMs from Japan, Korea, even US. I said, why can't you manufacture your own equipment? You know, what is the reply? He said, sir, we are here on first floor and second floor. We are creating all this software and we just send on the internet. So there is no inspector coming. If I start manufacturing, if I put a manufacturing plant here, 10 inspector will come next day. And you see outside the condition of the road. My truck cannot go out properly and it was full of ditches, that road. So the idea is because there is no enabling environment for anyone to manufacture in the country. And why this disability factor is there, 26%? The reason are ये 7 ग्रह हैं, ग्रहण लगे हुए हैं manufacturing पे. Cost of regulatory compliances. Whatever we may say that regulatory compliances is reduced, but still regulatory compliances are huge and it costs a lot. Recently, I was handling IBC cases. Some telecom company was there. It is being taken by some masonry construction company. When we were filing for the CCI, they said you have to pay 20 lakh rupees fees and 20 lakh fees is taken by the lawyer. So 40 lakh rupees have to be paid. We said here no competition is getting violated. But such a rule is there that if your turnover or assets exceed a certain limit, then whatever industry you are in and whatever you are acquiring, you have to apply for it. Although there is a gray area in the act itself, it is written that it should be in the relevant market. But the official who are sitting there, they don't take cognizance of what relevant market and they take only cognizance of the turnover asset and they ask everyone that they should apply for the CCI approval. When I took up the case, it was surprising for me to know that one of the advisors said, this class never was shown to us, sir. ये तो दिखाई नहीं, आप पहली बार दिखा रहे हो 6A class तो जिसमें relevant market लिखा हुआ है. But an impact of that was that if the two industries are not in the same market, so afterward they have amended it and the amendment has been done only to the extent that you have to only intimate them. You don't have to take the approval in such cases. But still you have to pay the fees of 20 lakh rupees and still you have to do the filing, even after doing that. So our mindset of the bureaucracy is not getting changed. Unless that gets changed, nothing is going to come through. Inadequate and inefficient infrastructure. I have already spoken about the roads. A truck, 1,000-kilometer truck, even today, although after the present government has done quite a good work on the infrastructure front, but even now also, if a truck from Delhi to Bombay, 1,500 kilometers, it may take at least 3-4 days. In China and other things, it will reach in 24 hours. So if that delay is there, ultimately it adds to the cost. Unstable policy environment. You know, policy environment, flip-flop, every time flip-flop is happening. And you know, everyone knows about the case of the Nokia. They had the largest plant of the mobile manufacturing in Perimbal, and our income tax department on the transfer pricing, they put so much income tax on them that they ran away. Even when Microsoft was interested in purchasing it, they said you have to pay all these things. And the recent case of our Supreme Court judgment, which is there on the Vodafone, Idea and Bharti and other kind of things, one can see how somebody can pay 50,000 crore rupees or 60,000 crore rupees to stay afloat in the market. And it's running for 20. Either the process should be so quick that you are able to decide in 6 months. If you are dragging a case in 20 years and then you put penalty and interest interest on penalty, then no industry can survive. inordinate delay in clearances, permits, and registration. So here also is a very classic cases are happening. So when I was registering my nectar fountain, every day in the newspaper, advertisement used to come that register in one day. I said, yeah, this is good. I will register myself. I started registering. Then it said, no, you need the digital signature of a CA. And then I abandoned it. Then I searched the CA. Then his digital signature are required. Then only I was able to register, and it took 1 month. So it is only on paper you can register in one day. So they will put something or the other which will trap you. Another, the people who are the directors of the company, they would be knowing. Another, the MCA came out with a regulation that every year the KYC of all the directors is to be validated. And it will be validated through the digital signature of a CA. And every CA charge around 1,000 rupees for one attestation. So 2,000 for fund director. And there are 3 million companies registered. And if you add all these, it amounts to 1,000 crore rupees, the STT to the CAs unnecessarily. If the directors are becoming, people are becoming the director of a company through Aadhaar card, and Aadhaar card is there in your system, why do you need the KYC every year? The director is not going to run away. So, I mean, the high incidence of taxes and levies, although again the corporate tax has been reduced, but still it is quite high if you add all the indirect taxes. Cost of capital, because our interest rates are very high, and corruption. So this is a unique phenomenon. Nothing moves unless you pay. So all these add to the business, and therefore the disability factor is 26%. But these are all intervening variables. The basic factor is the causal factor. You know, in management they say, because Mr. Raji has said I talk about management, so let me talk about. There are 3 kinds of factors. One is the output variables. Generally, we attack the output variables. We see the production parameters, this kind of thing. But output variables are as a result of intervening variables. Intervening variables are these policy kind of regulation, motivation, leadership kind of thing. But the causal factor, basic root cause, even these intervening variables will change if only your causal factors are changed. They are the basic roots. The basic root here is the structure and mindset of bureaucracy. Unless that mindset and structure of the bureaucracy is addressed, whatever efforts we may keep doing it, we may be able to push a cart a little faster, but cart remain the cart. Unless you change it to a car or to a helicopter, the speed is not going to become and compete with the world. So we are, the present government is on, by and large, is trying to push the cart, old cart, with more push, that is all. So it is moving a little faster. The bullock cart, if it is running 5 kilometers, you push harder, it will go 7 kilometers, but it can never compete with a car which runs at a speed of 70 kilometers. So for that matter, you have to change the car to the car only. Coming the restraining factors, the 3 prescriptions are there. The, say in the manufacturing I'm talking about, resource pooling. I say this idea is there. See, we tried, when I was making a report on the manufacturing and R&D, you know, we prepared manufacturing and R&D. There was one joint secretary, IAS officer from Ministry of Finance. All members signed. Because in the committee, there were members from the private industry, there were members from the government also. All members signed. This joint secretary, because he was IAS, he never came for a meeting. Only his director used to come. And the even director also might have come only 50% of the time. Then I asked him, at least you send your comment. He was not responding. Then secretary was there, Ms. P.J. Thomas. I told Mr. Thomas, he said, he is not sending the comments, so what do I do? So he said, I will speak to him. He spoke to him. Hey, you send your comment at least. You know this gentleman, what he did? He quoted the income tax rules and he said, this is as per this income tax, or this as per this custom rule, and this and that. This is not possible. So we cannot reduce taxes. We cannot take this measure, and you cannot take measure. I went to Thomas and told him, see, this is what he has given. First, he has not come for any meeting. Now he's sending this. If these opinion, if I have to take this opinion, there was no need of committee. These are the departmental view. He is an individual member. As an individual member, he has to give his opinion, what is right and what is not wrong. He doesn't have to quote what is in the rule book. If I have to follow the rule book, then there is no need of this committee. And Then, of course, because I had very good relations with Mr. P.J. Thomas, he said, okay, don't worry about it. You attach this. I said, okay, I will attach this and we'll release the report. So I did not wait. We released the report. Then, of course, there are other complications, how our bureaucracy entangled and the PMA policy came. So when we were doing it, the IT department opened another chapter. DIPP opened another chapter. TRAI gave another report. So once we have given report, then everyone wants to work on that. And they complicated that in such a thing. In Heft, I said, I hell with it. I'm not doing anything. You do it. I gave to Mr. R.K. Pathak. I made a comparative statement of all the 4 reports, all 4 reports. And then by that time, Mr. R. Chandrasekhar was the secretary. I told him, sir, I have made a report. I will not, our report is final because it is a practical report. In report, what we had stated is we have in a graded manner, 30%, 40%, 70%, 80%. In a graded manner, we had increased the level of indigenous equipment. And then we had stated that some money can be contributed and a R&D fund can be created. That money will get deposited into that. The DIT came with that this value addition should be there. This much percent, they came out with a big list of items, value addition. So who will calculate the value addition? And then they call it PMA, preferential market access. I will talk about that preferential market access. TRAI came out that 90% of the equipment should be indigenous. Firstly, and 10% custom duty should be levied. Both are running counter to the WTO. I said, this is running to the counter to the WTO. You cannot get it through this report. This report will not get through. But if I say I don't accept it, our Indian industry will say Ramnarayan is sold to the foreigners because TRAI is telling 90%, he is telling only 60%. And if I push my report, then if I push my report, they will say I'm anti-national. And if I push TRAI report, then it is not going to go anywhere. So we remain at the same stage. Then ultimately, DIT PMA came, preferential market access. Then I was traveling with Kapil Sibbalji one day in plane. I was going to Israel and he was going to sell PMA. He was in first class, I was in business class. He came from first class to me and his seat was vacant. He sat beside me. He said, और क्या चल रहा है? मैं ठीक चल रहा है साहब, आपके राज में बहुत बढ़िया चल रहा है. कहता कोई और प्रॉब्लम? मैं कहा हाँ प्रॉब्लम, इशू तो है. Then I narrated him 2 incidents. One I told about PMA. I told him on his face. I told him, sir, we are going to Israel for what? That our equipment should be purchased and manufactured in India. Why will they come? When we are calling it preferential, are they fool? Firstly, calling a policy PMA publicly is fundamentally flawed. It can win you public opinion, but not manufacturing. In the international world trade, if anyone has experience, you can't say I'm giving outrightly preferential preference to my industry when you have signed the WTO or when you have signed the zero duty regime. You can find out the ways and means. There are ways and means, but you cannot call it PMA. Then he said, हाँ यार ये बात तो ठीक है, preferential market access तो नहीं होना चाहिए इसका. तो और then I told him, once I was looking after CDOT. Tell me the anecdote. This is very interesting. CDOT had a budget of 125 crore rupees. They were able to generate, that is called internal resource generation. They were able to generate only 25 crore rupees and 100 crore rupees used to be the budgetary support. So 125 crore. These income tax people, you know what they did? They said 125 crore rupees is the income of CDOT. So 30% tax, 36 crore rupees is the tax. For 3 years, 76 crore rupees income tax they levied on CDOT. Then CDOT said, how can we pay you 76 crore rupees income tax for last 3 years when we have not earned a single pie? They said, no, this is your income, we don't know. The ED, then they freeze the account of CDOT. Then ED, Mr. Sastry came to me. ये सर मैं आ रहे था पैसे, मैं सैलरी कैसे दूं? मैं क्यों दिया तो है पैसा आपको, रिलीज तो कर दिया. कहता वो इनकम टैक्स वालों ने हमारे अकाउंट फ्रीज कर दिए. एंड आई कैन नॉट गो टू द कोर्ट because as per the government regulation or instructions, A government department should not go to the court against a government department. मैंने कहा शास्त्री जी, if they cannot follow it, you go to the court, get your account released, ठीक है कि नहीं? And I will get, tell the secretary, you don't worry about it. Then he went to the court, he got the account defreezed from the court, then salary of the C dot people was paid. Then I went to the secretary. Then secretary said, income tax कैसे हो सकता है? I will write a DO letter. Okay, I drafted a DO letter. He wrote a DO letter to finance secretary, and he spoke in front of me. He said, you send me the letter. I will see how it is happening. After 15 days, a reply came, nothing can be done. Again, with this letter, I went to the secretary. Because आपकी चिट्ठी का तो जवाब आ गया. क्या जवाब आया? मैं कहा वो ये कह रहे हैं कि कुछ नहीं हो सकता. तो कहना मैं मिनिस्टर के पास जाऊंगा. वो मिनिस्टर के पास गए. The minister said, Ramnaran, draft another letter. I will speak to finance secretary. And finance secretary was our this president, ex-president Pranab Mukherjee. Then I drafted a letter on his behalf. He wrote a letter. The letter came from Pranab Mukherjee, nothing can be done. They were quoting, then I read this income tax rule. Some lousy rule, they were reading it and interpreting it. In a private company, what happens is when you invest something in R&D, so that benefit is given to that company, and this is considered as the income of this company. So you can take either tax benefit there or here. I said, here it is not a private company. The fund is not coming from it is coming from the government. How can you tax the government budgetary support and take a tax on it? Then somehow we got it reclassified to save their face. We reclassified it, and then only we got rid of that situation. So that is the kind of situation what happens. So here, the contribution can be, what can be done is we can mandate some kind of 30%, 40% indigenous equipment up to 80%. We can take over a period of time, and the shortfall, some percentage can be contributed into a manufacturing and R&D fund. And when that corpus is collected together, that contribution can be, that fund can be utilized by the industry itself for manufacturing of the telecom equipment. It will not go counter to the WTO or to the international regulations. Simultaneously, it will not go under the mismanagement of the government. It will be handled by the money will be handled by the people whose money it is, but it will be utilized only for manufacturing. So that is kind of contribution. So industry-led, government facilitated. So similarly, hybrid organizations, say for example, lot of land, building, dead assets are lying with the government. So government can acquire some equity, 20, 30%, and rest of the equity can be contributed by from the fund, which will be handled by the private industry. In that case, it will be led by the private industry with the consequence efficiency, and simultaneously dead assets of the government will be utilized, and government will also get a share of its profit. So that is a win-win kind of situation it can be created. And the facilitating environment, say like SEG, where the taxes are less, connectivity is better, and common facilities can be created, this kind of. Yeah.
Ramnaranji, we have come to 348. What is the situation?
No, now this is the last.
Last, great.
Yes. So this manufacturing and R&D fund, so this is what I was telling. Say if we mandate the indigenous equipment should be 30% first year, second year 45%, third year 60%, fourth year 80%. And this is the kind of the requirement. Say around 18 to 20 billion is the telecom equipment, which is the requirement. Today we are importing 90% of it. Say only 10% in the. So, and if you mandate 30%, the shortfall will be 20%. So shortfall will be 24 crore rupees. And if you take 5%, so 1200 crore rupees will be there. So 1200 crore over a period of 5, it will become 3-4 years, it will become 4,000-5,000 crore rupees. By that, we can hire 1,000 engineers, good engineers, and it will be industry-led. So efficiency will be there, industry-led would be there, they will be partnered in the profit, it will be a win-win situation for everyone. So this is one, my strong guns, if such a scheme is propagated and it is lapped by the government, it is pushed and taken by the industry, So we can solve this dilemma of manufacturing in the country and the security issue also. So the resolve is, can it be done? The question is, because we talk about it. I don't know, I have spent 30 years, but still I have not given up after retirement also. So probably I will not give up it also. Yes, we can. It is possible. It is possible. Only we have to give it in the right hands. The hands are required, right hands are required, and right mindset is required. If the two things are there, right hand and right mindset, nothing can stop our country to have a manufacturing like Hawaii or Jetty, maybe even better than that. So that is the presentation. So succinctly, I have touched upon all the words Misra ji has given me: ICT, IoT, manufacturing, 5G, all kind of stuff, and policy also.
Thank you very much, Ramnaran ji. Very elusive
If
and
any
very
question is
elaborate.
there,
Yeah, there is going to be questions. I think Vijay Agrawal is there. Vijay Goyal ji. Vijay Goyal ji, you have given some.
सर मेरा इसमें एक ही चीज मानना है, जब तक सरकार के जो जितने भी विभाग हैं उनको फैसिलिटेटर बनना पड़ेगा इंडस्ट्री का। वो अभी यार रूलर बने हुए हैं। मेरा जैसा आदमी मैं इंडस्ट्री क्विट करके आ गया। करीब मेरा 200 करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट, 200 करोड़ की इंडस्ट्री थी, मैं क्विट करके ट्रेड में आ गया, ट्रेड एक्टिविटीज कर रहा हूँ और बहुत हैप्पी हूँ। इंडस्ट्री का 5 गुना कमा रहा हूँ।
किसी सीईओ ने मुझे कहा था कि मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में सीईओ बनना क्राइम करना है हिंदुस्तान में। कंपनी लॉ एक्ट 2013 पढ़ मत लेना, कोई भी मत पढ़ना, पढ़ लोगे तो इंडस्ट्री खोलोगे नहीं।
मैं आपकी बात से 100% सहमत हूँ। जेल की बात लिखते हैं सर,
जेल है, हर पेज पे जेल है,
हर पेज पे जेल लिखते हैं वो लोग।
हाँ जी।
रामनारायण जी, ये अपनी
अच्छा, मेरा
हटा दीजिए प्लीज
सर। मेरा एक
प्रेजेंटेशन को क्लोज कर दीजिए प्लीज।
मेरा एक सुझाव ये है, जब तक जो भी इंडस्ट्री जो देश में इंपोर्ट सब्स्टिट्यूट बनाती है उनको एक्सपोर्ट के जैसे 5 साल की आप छूट नहीं देंगे, हमारा देश आत्मनिर्भर कभी नहीं बन सकता। अगर कोई किसी के पास में इसका आइडिया हो कि बिना छूट दिए वो हमारे साथ शेयर करे।
क्या मैं थोड़ा मिस कर गया गोयल साहब, क्या बोला?
मेरा कहने का मतलब ये है सर कि जब तक अगर कोई इंडस्ट्री इंपोर्ट सब्स्टिट्यूट बना रही है उसको, जैसे हम एक्सपोर्ट, कोई यूनिट एक्सपोर्ट करती है तो उसको हम बहुत सारी सुविधाएं देते हैं, सरकार देती है। वैसी सुविधाएं को जो यूनिट इंपोर्ट सब्स्टिट्यूट बनाती है 5 साल तक दिए बगैर हम सेल्फ रिलायंस नहीं बन सकते, आत्मनिर्भर भारत नहीं बन सकता। ये गांठ बांध लेना चाहिए हम लोगों को।
ये बिल्कुल सही है, क्योंकि जो इंडस्ट्री चलती है वो इकोनॉमी ऑफ स्केल पे चलती है। जब तक आपका स्केल एक वर्ल्ड लेवल का नहीं होगा तब तक आप compete वर्ल्ड में कर ही नहीं पाएंगे। You can never compete it. That is why in the telecom sector and even many other sectors also, only very few big players survive. Not all can survive.
और एक चीज मैं एक छोटी सी चीज शेयर करना चाह रहा हूँ। आज सरकार ने वोडाफोन, आइडिया और एयरटेल को मतलब बंद होने के कगार पे लाके खड़ा कर दिया। आज 11 साल से डिसीजन नहीं ले पा रहे हैं। जब वो पूर्णतः सिक होकर अपने उनके इन्वेस्टर का पैसा, शेयर होल्डर का पैसा डूब जाए, उसके बाद डिसीजन लेंगे कि एनसीएलटी में चले जाओ, 20% में सेटल कर लो। तो ये क्या चीज है, क्या चाहते हैं गवर्नमेंट अथॉरिटीज? समय पे डिसीजन
एनसीएलटी को, आईबीसी को देखोगे तो वहाँ एक अलग
हमारे देश में वर्ल्ड का सबसे बड़ा स्कैम है एनसीएलटी आज की डेट में।
हाँ, तो बस अब क्या करोगे, वो आपको तो पता ही है
सर। मेरे को ईच एंड एवरी इनपुट है मेरे पास में, क्योंकि मैं उसे बिरादरी को बिलोंग करता हूँ।
विजय जी, आपके सजेशंस बहुत ही अच्छे हैं और I would share the Ramnaran ji's number. We can have more. Today he had a hearing in NCLT. इनके केस थे NCLT में, तो वो है।
आज की डेट में सारी
Satya Gupta is online. Satya Gupta wanted to speak, ask some question or suggestion, and Sanjay Baidia is also put his hand. So I don't know, he will also ask a question.
थैंक यू मिश्रा जी। सबसे पहले जय श्री राम सभी को। और रामरैन बहुत ही बढ़िया प्रेजेंटेशन रामरैन जी का, और जो इन्होंने बोला ब्रीफ, इतना बड़ा जो चीजों को इकट्ठे करके करना और इतने कम टाइम में, दैट इज अ ग्रेट थिंग एंड ग्रेट लर्निंग आल्सो। और रामरैन जी के बारे में मैं एक दो चीजें और भी बता दूं. ही इज माय फ्रेंड, philosopher and guide actually. So we know each other for last 35 years and I've been learning a lot from him, and this is just what he has covered is tip of the iceberg actually. इनकी जो मैनेजमेंट की बुक्स हैं जो मैंने सारी पढ़ी हैं 6 की 6, और उसके अलावा और बहुत चीजें, तो इनके ज्ञान का भंडार है एक्चुअली. और ये तो बहुत ही छोटा, बट इसी से रिलेटेड रामरैन जी आपने जो नई चीज बताई है 7 ग्रहण, 7 ग्रहण, तो ये एक मतलब बहुत ही मुझे चुभ रही है. मुझे भी पता है, पहले हम 3 ग्रैंड जानते थे गवर्नमेंट में, जिनको मैं 3C बोलता था, CBI, CAG एंड CVC. तो लेकिन अब आपने 7 बना दिए.
ये बढ़ रहे हैं
बढ़ रहे हैं. तो लेकिन बहुत जरूरी है. तो मैं ये कहना चाहता था आपकी एक्सपर्टीज को यूज करके, और आपका जो ये मिशन है या क्रूसेड है कि भाई ये 7 ग्रैंड को खत्म करना है, और जो सरकार नेशनल इंटरेस्ट में चाहती है, स्पेशली जो PM साहब चाहते हैं, वो करने के लिए ये 7 ग्रैंड एक्चुअली रास्ते में आ रहे हैं या बोटलनेक है, और इनको हटाना बहुत जरूरी है. और इट इज नॉट वेरी इजी एक्चुअली इनमें सारे ग्रहणों में. जबकि जो 7वां ग्रहण आपने करप्शन लिखा, मोदी जी और सब तो बोलते हैं कि करप्शन हट गई है, लेकिन ऑब्वियसली वो नहीं हटी है. तो इन 7 ग्रैंड में से अगर एक एक ग्रैंड पे भी काम किया जाए आपकी गाइडेंस के अंडर, एंड मे बी अतुल जी, इफ ई-ग्रोथ कैन मेक ए स्पेशल फोरम और ए स्पेशल चेयर फॉर रिमूवल ऑफ दीज 7 ग्रैंड एक्चुअली, एंड इन अंडर द गाइडेंस ऑफ रामरैन जी, ही एग्रीज, एंड फिर हम सब कंट्रीब्यूट करें और इसको आगे लेके जाएं कि इसको कैसे बात टॉप लेवल तक पहुंचे और इन चीजों पे काम हो. तो रामरैन जी आप
डेफिनेटली बहुत ही अच्छा सजेशन है सत्या जी का.
और ये शिलान्यास आज ही कर देते हैं.
और क्या जरूर.
देखो हमने सर्विस कर ली है, जिंदगी पूरी बिता ली है, अब का टाइम है, हमें करना चाहिए.
अगर मेरे सजेशन, मेरे ऑलरेडी राइटअप हैं, अगर आप लोग पढ़ लें तो 99% तो एक ही दिन में खत्म हो सकते हैं, बिना किसी इन्वेस्टमेंट के और किसी चीज के. मेरे सारे ट्विटर पे और मैं आपके साथ मैंने लिंक शेयर किए हुए हैं. मैं आप बोलेंगे तो मैं डिजिटल भी शेयर कर सकता हूँ.
विजय साहब का भी ले सकते हैं, और ताकि आप दोनों के जो गाइडेंस के अंडर हम ई-ग्रोथ में कुछ करना चाहते हैं, ताकि जो लोग आप करना चाहते हो तो वो एक्चुअल हो जाए. तो उनको कहाँ तक ले जाना है, कैसे ले जाना है, पब्लिक तक पहुंचाना है.
विजय जी आप अतुल जी को या मुझे शेयर कर दीजिए कि राइट, उसके ऊपर हम लोग चर्चा कर लेंगे. और जो पीछे आपने दिया था उसको तो मैंने देखा था, जो कि ये इनकम टैक्स के बारे में आपने जो लिखा था और जो भी, तो वो मैंने स्टडी किया था, और आगे भी हम इसको ले चलेंगे. अभी जी. और इन द मीन टाइम संजय, यू वांट टू आस्क समथिंग? संजय जी इज देयर.
सर नारायण जी नमस्कार.
नमस्कार संजय जी.
सर मैं बहुत यंग हूँ, लेकिन आपकी बातें सुन के तो मेरा मतलब क्या बोले, बहुत प्रभावित हुआ हूँ. तो
बहुत धन्यवाद.
सर मेरा एक सवाल है कि सर हम लोग को मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में जाना चाहिए कि ट्रेडिंग में जाना चाहिए? जैसे
हम तो वैसे ही ट्रेडर हैं, हमारे यहाँ एंटरप्रेन्योर हैं ही कहाँ. वी आर ओनली ट्रेडर्स. अभी जो हमने ये किया होता है, जो हमने आइडिया दिया है, had we been the entrepreneur, our service providers should have come out with such a scheme themselves and done it. But they want money as of, if you invest today, you want next day return. But the entrepreneur, the people who develop things from scratch, they invest today and the returns comes only after 5 years. So we are already traders. We have very few entrepreneurs.
So then
entrepreneur is Elon Musk, who dreamt that he will create a spacecraft when nobody could have thought of it, and he sunk billions of dollars to it, and he made it a success. Now he is earning billions of dollars. Entrepreneur was Ford, who said that I will make car from the mother earth. Entrepreneur is not Sunil Mittal, who gives the total contract to the O&M contract to Ericsson, and he says, you bring the equipment, plan my network, install it, maintain it, and only give me this paisa. This is only trading.
Okay, then it's better to go for trading, sir.
No,
If you want to
No,
serve the
if that is
country,
if Sanjay ji, if that is the conclusion, then so we will remain there only.
that is
We
why
have
everyone is going for trading. There's everyone is going for trading. If you want quick bucks, yes, the trading is the route. But if you want to create something substantial for the country, for the economy, and for our children, and for future of the country, then trading is not bad. But there should be entrepreneurs as well.
Now the time is 4 o'clock and its official
Sir,
time ends here. But still, I would request Atul ji to extend some, if all the members permit it, because
सर मैं एक बीच में एक बात बोलना चाहता हूँ
जी
कि सर अतुल जी को और मिश्रा जी को कि सर ये आज मैं पहली बार ये सुना हूँ सर, ये माइंड चेंजिंग है। तो मैं मिश्रा जी को और अतुल जी को बोलूंगा कि सर ये जो मैनेजमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट्स है, सर जो स्कूल्स है, सर काइंडली उनको भी ये फॉरवर्ड करें, उनके लिए भी एक ये सेशन रखें, क्योंकि सर यंग जनरेशन अगर ये सुनेगा ना तो ये रेवोल्यूशन सर आएगा, आत्मनिर्भर का रेवोल्यूशन आएगा सर। क्योंकि सर ये जब तक वो नहीं सुनेंगे तब तक वो फील नहीं कर पाएंगे एक्सपीरियंस को सर।
यू आर वेरी राइटली।
मैं अपने कुछ व्यू शेयर कर रहा हूँ। मैं पोस्ट बजट डिबेट में गया था IIM रायपुर में। मैंने उनके HOD से पूछा कि अभी तक IIM ने जो है कितने एंटरप्रेन्योर प्रोड्यूस किए हैं। वो लोग चुप थे, 2 नाम गिना पाए हमें। तो हमारा ये कहना था आप इसमें रिस्क टेकिंग बिहेवियर आप इसमें अपने कैरिकुलम में जोड़िए, मगर वो कुछ भी सुनने को तैयार नहीं थे। वो नौकरशाह पैदा कर रहे हैं बस केवल, और कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं। एंटरप्रेन्योर जबकि बनाना चाहिए उनको।
राइट सर।
अतुल जी के परमिशन से मैं इस डिस्कशन को 15 मिनट, पहले तो 10 मिनट बढ़ा रहा हूं और विथ मैक्सिमम 15 मिनट तक मैं बढ़ा सकता हूं। लेकिन और भी कोई क्वेश्चंस हैं तो प्लीज। अलका जी, you have got any question? Are you there?
Yes, I'm very much there, sir. As people have been saying, this is like, showing mirror to all of us. We have also been part of the same setup, which can call itself a regulatory setup. So if we have not been able to, do much, I think that's something which I take as a collective, failure. To use too strong a word, I'm sorry, but still, it is there. But it's also a fact that, only we can look at ourselves, only we can correct ourselves, only we can find ways to, let's say, improve ourselves. If, experts and experienced people like yourself and Ramnarayan sir can guide the younger lot, especially the bureaucrats, the technocrats, I think that will change and steer the course in a positive direction. Completely agree. It is currently not at the stage where each one of us would like our, ecosystem to be. But there's room for improvement, and we will build that room. No one else. That's it. Thank you.
Let us have the hope, because on hope only we are living, and we will continue to have hope. But however, whatever the way Ramnarayan ji has presented on the industry future, especially telecom, is really very challenging, and we will overcome. We will see a light of the day. It is not that so gloomy. We will try with the help of Ajay ji. Ajay Atriya ji, you have also got a very big experience in government kind of setup working. So can you please ask anything or any suggestion you have?
सर दो टेलीकॉम सेक्टर इज मेरे तो फील्ड से हमारा दोनों का, लेकिन जनरली जो रामनारायण जी ने बताया है, whatever he has explained, these are the general pitfalls in all kind of businesses. These are the risks. I think today everybody is going for trading. He has very rightly said, all kind of majority of the business they want to go for trading because nobody is entering into the real entrepreneurship. in our country, because everybody wants quick money, because that investment is required. So, जो सत्यनारायण जी ने बोला है, if through e-growth we can create a forum where we could make our voice reach right up to the, say, PM. Somehow, because all these channels, as you very rightly said, bureaucracy and others, they will all, they are the blocking channels. They will never allow this thing to go up to there. जो हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी इतने हमारे लिए बात करते हैं, शायद सुन के अगर उसमें चेंज ला सकते हैं तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. अदरवाइज तो we will continue the last 70 years, after 70 years. We are sailing in the same boat, same kind of issues.
Thank you, Ajay ji. Tapan
But hope is there. We can always do that. There is a great hope. Things have happened in the country, but the kind of speed which is required now, that kind of speed we can only achieve when things happen very fast.
Saurabh ji, you have got anything to add or the question?
Yes, Sheetal Dongre has raised hand.
Sheetal ji.
Yeah, what exactly I want, I am in one women entrepreneurs development. I'm giving training to self-help group. So what I found that if we are talking on a superficial level, it will never work. This knowledge seems to go towards the 6-7 standard student also. Okay. Yeah. Maybe we will not understand anything, but it is not happen actually. Now generation to generation, everything is changed, and nowadays generation is very sharp. If we are focused on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th generation, 10th class student, and we are going to give this kind of knowledge to them, so we can really achieve this goal. What I found that from Ram sir's all the what we can say extracted knowledge.
You are right, because we have to catch the young people, and the real impact and change will come only from the education system.
Because implementing everything
now
is not, no, we can say successful view or steps we are taking. Okay, because everything they are getting what they want, and they already have so many plans in their mind. Yes. But means sowing one seed is very important nowadays. What I feel.
Good point. Good point.
Tapan ji हैं बांग्लादेश से लाइन पे. Would you like to say something? तपन जी सुन रहे हैं? Anyway, we have perhaps he is busy. Any other member? Any question? We are already short 10 minutes. No, 8 minutes.
मेरा एक क्वेश्चन, मैं एक चीज रामनारायण जी से पूछना चाहता हूँ उसका कि मुझे मेरे कोई आइडिया है मैं किस व्यक्ति को दूं कि अगर कोई हमारे इनोवेटिव आइडिया है किसी टैक्सेशन सिस्टम से लेके या करप्शन को दूर करने के लिए कोई भी है, ऐसी कोई अथॉरिटी है जो उस पे काम करती हो? ऐसा
काम तो बहुत सारी करती हैं, पेपर पे तो बहुत सारी काम करती हैं, सीवीसी भी काम करती है, सीबीआई भी काम करती है.
मेरे 150 मेल डेली जाते हैं, एक स्क्रीन लिखे बगैर मुझे नींद नहीं आती, और आज तक मेरे को एक कभी एक्नॉलेज नहीं है पिछले 8 सालों से.
ये एक रियल चैलेंज है विजय जी का, और ये सबका चैलेंज है,
ये
सबका चैलेंज है. लेकिन एक्चुअली इसमें अपनी लड़ाई को तो खत्म नहीं कर सकते हम, लड़ाई चलती रहनी चाहिए. इसीलिए हम लोग यहाँ हैं.
मैं पिछले 8 साल से इसीलिए लड़ रहा हूँ.
नहीं, इसीलिए हम लोग इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे हैं कि कुछ एक जनमत तैयार हो, बुद्धिजीवियों का जनमत तैयार हो, और जिससे कि कुछ एक फोकस्ड अप्रोच लिया जाए. और हम लोगों में से कई लोग ऐसे हैं जिनकी पहुंच थोड़ी बहुत ऊपर तक भी पहुंच जाती है. बहुत लोग हैं, हम सबका तो नहीं जानते. तो उनके थ्रू राइट पर्सपेक्टिव में चीजों को अगर भेजा जाए तो हमने देखा है कि सरकारी महकमे काम होता है जरूर. लेकिन उसको राइट पर्सपेक्टिव से भेजा जाए। और रामनारायण जी खुद जानते हैं कि कितनी चीजें जो कि इम्पॉसिबल चीजें होती थी उसको इन्होंने करवाया है, खुद ही करवाया है इन्होंने अपने मिनिस्ट्री में। आज नहीं तो आज जो टेलीकॉम का स्वरूप आप देख रहे हैं इतना बड़ा विकसित, कोई इंडस्ट्री जो सरकार के 100% चंगुल में रहती है वो कभी खुली है आज तक, लेकिन टेलीकॉम इतनी पहले, क्योंकि राइट काइंड ऑफ सोच के लोग थे और टेलीकॉम इंडस्ट्री में जिन्होंने ये कहा कि कुछ भी कर लें गवर्नमेंट पब्लिक सर्विस के नजदीक नहीं पहुंच सकती, गवर्नमेंट को इस सेक्टर को ओपन करना ही पड़ेगा। और वे बैक इन 95 itself, this sector, only sector which was opened into telecom, and you see the telecom is the one of the cheapest in the world in India. So the contribution goes to the telecom industry and telecom ministry and the officers working in telecom ministry. So many things have been done. So, and let us hope that we will continue to do it. Any other question? Tapanda, are you there?
Mishra ji, may I say something?
Yeah. Now, floor is with Atul ji. He is the mentor of this floor and the founder of this floor.
Thank you. So I actually lost contact in between, and I think around 7-8 minutes I was not there.
Yeah.
So अभी रामनारायण जी ने बात की थी 7 C's की, राइट? मेरा कहना यह है कि जी there is only one IG जिसके साथ में हमें काम करना है, ठीक है? ये IG है in spite of the government, not because of the government. क्योंकि जब तक हम मैंने आज अभी एक आर्टिकल लिखा तो उसमें ये कहा कि आर्मी में जो बंदा फ्रंट पर खड़ा है उसको केवल एक चीज पर काम करना है, he has to guard the fort till the time he gets reinforcement from the back. So either he guards or he gives up his life. There is no third possibility. So same is the situation here. सरकार होगी तो भी ठीक है, नहीं होगी तो भी ठीक है, मुझे अपना बिजनेस करना है। और अगर मुझे अपना बिजनेस करना है तो उसमें एक चीज जो जरूरी है वो ये है कि जी मेरे साथ में हाथ पकड़ने वाले 4 लोग चाहिए। All right. So like somebody just said that it is all about the scale at which you do business, economies of scale. And there are very few companies which have the economy of scale.
Yeah, manufacturing sector, of course, there is very different.
Right. Similar. So to have that economy of scale, how about coming together in a large number such that the scale becomes economical?
Yeah.
तो वो जिस समय दूरदर्शन नया शुरू हुआ था ना, उसमें एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री आई थी, एक तितली अनेक तितलियां, राइट? तो ये अनेक तितलियां मिलकर जो है वो एक खूबसूरत उपवन बनाती हैं।
नहीं, it's correct.
ठीक है? So how about working towards that? क्योंकि सरकार ये कर रही है, मेरी चिट्ठी का जवाब नहीं आया, मेरे सेक्रेटरी बदल गया, प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी बदल गया, मिनिस्टर ने घूस खा ली, all that is not going to make any difference to my business. So let us work on that. And Ram Narayan ji, thank you for giving your valuable time and really accepting to work together. हम इसके बाद में एक कन्वर्सेशन करते हैं, लेट अस सी कि हम कैसे बढ़ सकते हैं आगे।
बिल्कुल।
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much, and a special thanks to Ram Narayan ji for sparing his time. I know he's a busy person. We both equally, but it was really very, very interesting. And though we know the subject, but how simplified way you have put everything. Would you mind sharing this presentation?
I will send it.
Right. So kindly share it. It may be beneficial for me and many other friends. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone. Thank you, Misra ji. You have done a great job. Atul ji is doing wonderful thing. Thank you.
So all of us, let us put a
Vijay
hand
Goyal ji.
together for Mishra ji for putting this show together.
Yes.
Oh,
मिश्रा जी आपके लिए हाथ उठा रहे हैं हमने
थैंक यू मिश्रा जी, थैंक यू, थैंक यू मिश्रा जी, थैंक यू।
आप हफ्ते पर हर हफ्ते के बाद राम नारायण जी जैसे हीरो को चुन चुन कर लाते रहिए, आप हमारे जौहरी हैं।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, I agree with Mr. Puri, I agree.
Yes sir, thank you.
Thank you.
See you.
Thanks all.
Jai
Thank you
Shri
very
Ram.
much. Thank you.
Jai Shri Ram.
Yes.